Welcome to the upgrade. I'm Megan. It's day 11 of this repeat of the quantum car leap experiment. I've been thinking lots the last couple of days about my relationship with time and how healed it's been and how good it's going, how I feel about time, how I'm trusting it, how I'm kind of like opening up to it a little bit more, which is also very congruent to like my relationship with money. It's like feeling like that same energy is with both of those things, and how much I am grateful for it and appreciating the work that I put into it, how I'm handling it, the integrity that I'm working with time and money, and being able to like play with new aspects of it, which I find is really interesting. I feel like there's a bit of a quiet moment today. It's been a day where I haven't booked any new patients, which I haven't done in a really long time, like since I started this whole thing, which I find very curious. And as I get really curious about it, I'm like, okay, it always comes back to service, right? Like this isn't about me. This is like, how can I serve more people? How can I resonate with someone to be able to like help them through their journey? Why am I wanting to do that? What's this like getting me? Knowing that yesterday was probably one of the most perfect days I have had in such a long time. Like yesterday was one of those days that I would have journaled about 3 years ago, knowing that I could like wake up and have a beautiful morning after a great night's sleep and have my hot chocolate and read and have time with my kids before dropping them both off for school, and then heading into work and having 3 absolute dream clients, having these very impactful moments for them, helping them feel really seen and heard and validated and like healing in that moment. And then being able to have time to pick up to go to the gym and being able to work on my own like body, mind, and soul, like coming out of there with a client booking, then being able to go and pick up my other kid from school and having the energy to cook a beautiful dinner, and having time to read and to write and to like spend time together as a family that's like high quality while falling asleep with gratitude. It was just a perfect day. And now I feel that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm stabilizing this norm. It wasn't a big deal. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary. That is what the majority of my days are like now, which is incredible. And I'm like, that happened all really quickly. And I think this is the thing about quantum leaps, is everybody expects it to happen overnight, which in a way it kind of feels like it does, but I've been working for this for like 15 years. It feels like specifically the last 2 years, but just like this accumulation of all this work has really started to pay off. There is this small part of me that feels like, I'm like, okay, man, like now I gotta like figure this out so I can like keep figuring this out and like holding it, knowing that because I know what this feels like and because I am proactive about my care, not reactive to the care that I need, that I can keep this stabilized thing. So like how I talked about yesterday with that, noticing that group with Genevieve Reckman that I wanted to do in, and it like keeps coming up, and I'm like, this is something that I'm like drawn to, but it also feels like it's not quite the right timing. So knowing that I can get in those containers to be able to hold it, I also feel like there's a part of me that's still trying to outsource that power of being able to hold this as the norm. So the things that I want to invest into, that I've previously invested in before, that help hold that energy, I am putting off until we get back from our trip at the end of March, so beginning for April. Because I really want to do, like, sign up for Haley Hoffman-Smith's Dream Away. This is the EFT practitioner that I work on. I like how she has things segmented. I do like doing like kind of like intensive upgrades like that when I'm like kind of just getting the habit of doing one every day. And I think that that's what I can focus on upgrading in April versus trying to still outsource that power and my ability to be able to do so with the resources that I already have and being able to hold it, right? So it's like now that I've like worked through all that slog, got to the pinnacle of the life that I want, and now it's like holding that and keeping that stable until I'm ready to like go up again. And I want to go up again after the trip. But this month is about stabilizing that. And kind of cool to recognize that, like, that's actually, one, what I want and desire, and two, what I can absolutely do. With that, I'm feeling more on the vulnerable side these days. I keep getting all these little, like, hints from the universe about, like, admitting to myself that I feel more ready for another partnership than I would like to admit out loud. That it came up in, like, I host, like, a group Reiki and meditation session every Friday, and we were talking about putting our fears in the box and taking them away, and it really opened up some some clairvoyant connections with some of the clients that are there that have been repeat clients for a while. So there's, like, a beautiful level of trust and connection there. But they're like, we feel like something's going on with you. What's going on with you? And I'm like, no big deal. I'm just going through this massive upgrade, holding that energy, and now I have to work through my fear of falling in love again, because I feel and that was, like, the first, like, big, like, okay, this is, like, happening. I think this is also linked to how I've been feeling with time. And I woke up this morning feeling like and even just, like, the last couple of days, it feels like my clock's ticking. Not that I have any desire whatsoever to have any more babies. There's actually a brand new baby in our clinic yesterday. I got to hold them. And usually when you hold a baby, you're like, oh, my uterus, it needs one. I do not feel that whatsoever. I am way more likely and would prefer to have grandkids over, which I feel like I'm closer to, than having, like, another set of children, like, little kids in my life, knowing that my life is after just spending the day with my niece and nephew. Like, having those little kids are in my life, and I very much enjoy that. But for me to have more kids, like, that is not what the clock ticking is. I think it's like I feel this, like, internal sense of pressure to, like, find someone before it's, like, too late. Too late for what? I don't know. But I think it's also really just, like, bringing to the surface all the relationship stuff that I need to work on myself to prepare myself for that next level, and being able to do that with time and with my business and with money. And it's just, like I said, I can't even remember what day that was. I think it was, like, the day of the potato party, right? I recorded that, and I'm just like, man, if I figure this out, then I'm gonna have to figure that out. And sure shit, that's exactly what's happening, which is great. So one, it's not really a surprise. Two, there is a part of me that feels, like, sad about it. I like my life. I like how I live. I like how things are with the kids. I don't want to mess with that again. They have been through so much. We have all been through so much. And my sister-in-law gave me one of the most beautiful compliments I think I've ever received, was that for everything that we have been through, you cannot tell with those kids. And for my teenagers to be as good as they are with everything that we've gone through and the level of stuff that we've gone through is impressive, and, like, a testament to, like, their work and my work, I think. But it's like, okay, like, I don't want to, like, mess that up. But I'm like, no, but it's like this or something better. Why would I keep that away? Why do I want to keep that away? Why do I feel like that's protecting me when really it can be, like, a really beautiful experience? And I dreamt about, I follow my dreams and what comes up in them, if stuff comes up with them. It's not like a dinosaur, which I'm terrified of. But the movie The Secret with Katie Holmes, and I can never remember the guy's name who's the lead, it did not get very great reviews. I couldn't find it on any of the streaming platforms that we subscribe to already, so I got it from the library. This weekend is like, no, it's beginning in Shark Week. I'm going to, like, rest. I'm just gonna watch a movie. I'm not even gonna be on my phone while I watch this movie. I'm just gonna watch the movie, and that's the one I watched. And my son was kind of in the background with it. I love it because he started noticing how they talk about the law of attraction. He's like, oh, like this. He's like, is this your perfect man? And I thought about it. I'm like, shit, it is totally, like, my perfect man. Would, like, I don't necessarily want to run into them with the back of my car. That would not be great. But, like, how it all unfolds, and her story and his story, and how he acts and behaves and how he moves through the world is absolutely, like, what it is that I desire and would love to, like, be in partnership of. And it's just, like, it just keeps coming up. And I keep reading these all the books I have from the library, 20 of them, most of them are very like relationship based. But a lot of them just make me really frustrated because it's all pointing out problems but not really providing solutions or good idea. I would think if I ever was to get into a relationship with somebody again, I would definitely need to be in therapy with them to do it, just to get like a good foundation, just recognizing some of my own behaviors and just being like proactive about stuff, right? Oh, there goes the neighbor out to shovel. Please, God, don't let him talk to him. Yeah, it's just very, it just feels very vulnerable. Knowing it could be like the best thing ever that happens to all of us, including him. Right? Or it could be one of those things, I do all this and it's like prepares me for something else entirely. But everything I learn from that is what it goes for, which feels a lot safer. Yes. See, we all go through things and we are all human. I'm definitely like not in a time in my life that I'm ever gonna settle again. But it's interesting. I'm very curious about this feeling about like my clock. Like it feels like very like, it's like what, like is it like a sense of impending doom, or is this like bring attention to this because it's starting to be important, which feels more accurate. This is also why it's important to say things out loud, because as you say it out loud, then you notice how you're feeling versus when you're in your head and you just kind of spiral and you don't really get that same like, yeah, there it is. You can, but it's just not the same. Yeah. So I feel very curious about what that means. So I'm gonna go inside after a beautiful day of getting some stuff done, having like the best day ever yesterday, having a really good day today. It's the school phoning for early out. We can just have like a nice evening being curious about where this is all leading. And we'll update you tomorrow.